Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Today we're back with Romantasy author Ryen Santana. Hey, Ryan, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, good.
Good. Well, I am so excited. I want to talk all about social media content with you because you have got great social media content. Now, what app do you use to make your graphic images so good and just to paint a great picture of your characters?
So I use Canva religiously. It is the one thing that I have time for, and it is so user friendly. I applaud their UX team beyond belief because I'm like, good job, guys. That's an amazing interface.
Yeah.
Before I was a writer, I was a user experience researcher. So all I would do all day long was interview people about why things work on apps and websites and things like that. So I'm like, you guys nailed this one. Like, I want to know your UX research team because they are amazing.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. Now, what creation tools do you use to make the videos and edit photos of your socials? Is that all still on Canva?
So it honestly kind of depends. I do, like, if there's certain trends on TikTok and there's like a template for it, I'll grab that in CapCut, or I'll try to recreate it on Instagram Reels or whatever. And I'm like, wow, this is super time consuming, but I love templates. And following trends is usually, it's not my absolute favorite thing to do, but when I find one that I really love, I'm like absolutely joining that. Like, there was just this most recent one that it was like the vibes I bring to the function, and it's like every sort of chaotic thing about your personality that you could possibly culminate into one. And so I just did that in Canva, and it took a fair amount of time, but I was like, hey, it's marketing.
Right. Well, it's so important to follow the trends. So that's a great point. And it's hard to keep up with them sometimes. You really have to save them and manage them and look up the audio and all that. So,
Yeah,
but it is
absolutely.
important. Yeah. Now, what kind of content do you recommend an author share with readers? Like in terms of types of post, reels, how long, carousels, stories, and in types of content. So like AI images versus reviews, book quotes, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what I would probably recommend, at least the most, to authors as you get closer to your release and your draft is more finalized or so on and so forth, and you have the content, I would take a quote, rip it out of context, anything, so that way it's not a spoiler. It could be construed in a million different ways, where it's like, oh, what kind of scene is that? Like, are they about to kill someone, or are they about to like sleep with someone? Like, what are they about to do? um and usually I will just slap that on a little post, put some fan art behind it. I am very, very big on getting commissions for my art, like my whole art backlog. I have about 5 or 6 different artists that I go to pretty consistently, and I cycle through and I'm like, all right, guys, here's this one character. I'm just going to send you the description straight from the book. You have artistic freedom. Make them do whatever you want.
That's great.
And so I'll usually do that. And then there's some where I'll be doom scrolling on social media essentially for, market research. That's what I say. My husband's like, how long were you on TikTok? And I was like, I'm doing market research. And so there'll be the ideas of like, oh, would you swipe right on this character of mine? And then you can like go into that little Tinder profile of them and give them a new kind of look into that character that way. And yeah, there's so many different ways to market, and it's honestly just kind of going into your category, being like, okay, how do certain trends perform for romantasy authors versus just pure fantasy versus dark romance versus romance in general, like rom-coms. And I would definitely say that with romantasy, you kind of have the culmination of all things that you can make work for your genre. Like, you could have a rom-com section of where someone has really good banter, and you kind of throw that onto like a a reel or something. So with the Pedro Pascal and the Nicolas Cage one, where it's like a, oh, this is what you're expecting in the first half, and then it switches to Pedro Pascal, and it's like what actually happens. And so there's so many things, especially with marketing, where you're just like, all right, it's trial and error. There's so much trial, there's so much error, and there's like especially learning about algorithms and Instagram trends and like how to maximize your profile and SEO and every aspect. Being an indie author, you have to like wear at least 50 hats at one time, and you have to be somewhat competent at all of them.
Right.
And that's very, very hard, especially just carving out the time, because usually as an indie author, it's not your only thing you do every day. It's kind of like, this is my add-on. This is what I do
Right.
in my spare time that I want to make full time. And so yeah, I would definitely say productive doom scrolling um, has helped me a lot.
Well, there is something to that doom scrolling where it is market research because you really do have to go follow the people that have a lot of followers in your niche, your genre, and then really save the audio, save the videos, look up how to do them. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but it's like, look at the
Oh,
people who have done it before you and who are doing it great and who have the thousands of followers and all the engagement, and then just copy.
yeah,
Copy
no,
with your own
exactly.
spin. Yeah, but copy.
Yeah, like one of my favorite resources. Her name is Tina on Instagram. She's booked till dawn, like DAWN, and she has amazing resources that she sends out as well. Like how like 100 reels to hook your audience, and I'm like, okay, thank you. Like
Yeah.
that's awesome. And so finding those types of creators too that can lighten your workload, where they've already done some of the research and like they can help you maximize your time spent towards marketing, because there's been so many times where I'm like, why did this one do well and this one didn't, when they're like basically the exact same thing. And it's all just down to like the keywords in the post, or what time of day I was posting, or like if it was sent out to my non-followers or followers, and like kind of being able to decipher the ad tools and ad performance in each app is very critical.
Right.
Very hard, but very critical.
Now, my last question for you would be, how can I, as an author, leverage readers through interactive content? So, whether that's character quizzes or fan art contests or giveaways, how do you typically do that?
Yeah, so I try to interact with my readers as much as possible. Like if they comment something, or if they message me on Instagram asking me a question, or if they honestly, I've had people email me too, and I'm like, all right, that's direct. Cool. Like it's on my website. Awesome. Um, but I try to be as interactive as I can with my readership and my following in general. So that way I'm not just like this random face or this random name. I'm an actual person behind it as well that they can connect to. And I feel like that's kind of built me my little, I have like this teeny tiny cult that I love of my readers. And like they took a chance on me. And so I'm like, hey, I appreciate you so much. Like the only reason why I'm here is because of you guys. Like my name is on books because you guys keep picking them up. And so I would definitely say I try to give back to my readers like as much as I can. Like I'll do a lot of giveaways. I'm actually about to host one in like the middle of February, where I've collaborated with a couple different authors. And so I try to give back to them like as much as I possibly can. Like whether that's providing them with some commissioned art of being like, hey, this is your guys' favorite scene. Like this this is the shower scene in like chapter 53. Like this is what you guys wanted. And doing polls of kind of like what content they want to see, which also helps drive like the reader to author relationship. You kind of build that repertoire and camaraderie of like, hey, you guys are helping me, I want to help you. Like even if you guys will never forgive me for what happened to so and so character, at the end of
Right.
the book. Like that's, I think, just trying to build the friendship between authors and readers, and then also keeping that fine line of like not always available, but like you're still there for them. As it's very hard. It's a very hard thing to be constantly available and then feeling like you're like, oh my gosh, I've been on social media for like 9 hours today. Like I didn't need to stop. And being able to like disconnect from being an author 24/7, but also like you're just nonstop marketing. So it's really hard. Yeah.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
finding that median of, all right, I'm an author, but I'm also a person, so I need to like hang on my coat.
Right. Turn it off
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, that is hard, especially when all that social media is on your phone all the time. And so you've always got somebody, some unanswered email, some unanswered text message, some comment, anything on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
It's endless. So just being able to turn that off, that's great advice.
Yeah. It's easier said than done, and I can't say that I'm perfect whatsoever with it because I will be up until the wee hours of the night with my toddler sleeping like across the room, writing until like 2 a.m. because that's the only time I really get to do it. Um, and then I'll also be like trying to create content and scheduling that. And that's another thing too. Scheduling content after you look at your like peak times on your like Instagram business ad tools, whatever. That makes my life so much easier.
Now,
I mean,
what do you use to
so much
schedule your
easier.
content?
Yeah, so I just go into the like Instagram once you become like the little business thing, like a business page. There's like the scheduling content tool, and you can look at your ad and or not your ad insights, your audience insights, and you can see when they're the most active. So mine is usually like 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, and so that's either like someone in the West Coast end of the day where they're like, all right, I'm clocking out early for work, or someone who just got home on the East Coast, or some of my followers that are in Europe, they're like, this is my midnight doom scroll. So it's that's my peak time. And so that's when I try to schedule it for the most kind of exposure and interaction. And that's usually good, but it also just depends. Like Instagram loves when you post your face. And that's also another thing is like deciphering and decoding the algorithm of like people love watching you do things with your hands. So like if you're flipping through your book or like here's this quote that I pulled from right here. Um, it's all kind of just the market trends and research. It's nonstop.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much. That was wonderful insight on social media content.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to today's interview with Romantasy author Ryen Santana. Be sure to check out our website for more videos. Wishing you all a fulfilling and successful writing journey.